ride?
Hello, hello. And welcome back. It's just another quiet morning here in downtown Los Santos. Nothing happening here. Just felt like another touch of speed this morning. It's been a while since we've been to the Old West and visited our dear friend Klaus. But I'm sure we'll be back there soon. Till then, for some reason, I am still craving a little of the zooming. Good morning, welcome. You've caught me again. Having entirely too much fun flipping around on my tiny little bicycle here. My graceful bicycle of flipping, as it is called. Gotta be careful around the water, though. Yikes. This is a good question. What are we doing today, besides aerial tricks? I was thinking, as unfortunate as it sounds, it may be kind of fun just to, get and then lose a large wanted level of some sort. I don't know exactly how this could be accomplished, but it is a great deal of fun. Especially when you get out of the city into the more hilly areas. I always have entirely too much fun escaping from wanted levels there. So let's see if we can find a good car to upgrade to, first and foremost. See anything driving around that catches our eye. Perhaps on the main highway somewhere. We'll just slip on down. So really anything sleek and fast would be fantastic. It can be a bit of a chore sometimes to get specific cars to spawn. Occasionally it will be stuck, spawning a whole bunch of the same thing over and over again. But it also somewhat relies on the area of town you're in, like Rodeo Drive here, for example. May have a higher concentration of nicer cars. Like this Comet, for example. Excuse me, sir. My apologies. So obviously the first rule of getting in trouble is use someone else's car. I do believe there's a police station. We have upgrades. Not necessary, but interesting. I do believe there's a police station downtown here. What? What problem? No, I don't have a problem. Apparently that is not enough of a criminal activity in order to be wanted. I want to do something that is non-fatal. I want to... There we go. They should survive that quite handily. And it's on. So now we have to get a vehicle in play. We've angered the pedestrians. Now let's anger the vehicle. And up we go. Oh, they have completely lost me already, it seems. I'm really not doing very much to catch their attention. Let's change that. Alright, here's another one. Let's get him involved. Oh, watch out. Careful now. So really the easiest way to get them on you in bulk is to actually fight back against them aggressively. That would bring helicopters, etc. into the fold. But it is just a bit of a bummer, really. Let's see if we can catch up to this guy. There's a couple of different stats being tracked behind the scenes, like the amount of time you spend with a wanted level, and what severity it is, etc., etc. Come on now. Let's get a whole group of friends together. Oh, yikes. Okay. Getting to look a little narrow in the front section there. This is more like it. We have a real party going now. Oh, that is lovely. I'm so sorry. I've been looking at the roads. I'm just catching up to the conversation here. I'm glad some of you have a day off. I don't believe I do, regrettably. I will be lashed to the desk somewhat. Still looks like I only have 2 stars. It's kind of hard to see. I apologize. That's where my broadcast bar is, up in front of my wanted level up there. So I can just barely see the edges. I think I had better try to increase my wanted level. Can't tell if it's working. Because they are just not chasing me very highly. There's a third. My apologies to the gentleman. Let's see if that helps. That should at least bring a helicopter into the mix. I can just barely see the top tine of the 3rd star. I am sending you bobby pins for to lockpick your desk. Good. Now they have roadblocks set up. That's a bit more what I was hoping for. It's always way too much fun to run them off the road. They try to predict where you're going to be and head you off. So if you head off the road, that's where they'll be. What I'd like to do, if I can catch one that's sort of by themselves, is I'd love to grab a police car for this. But that can be a little tricky. See, the helicopter is following us now. Let's go oncoming. Excuse me. Okay, let's try a little switcheroo maneuver here at the gas station. I'm just gonna head around back. He has a shotgun. Okay. Shotgun isn't gonna help matters. I was hoping I could jump up on that porta potty and across the barbed wire, if I may give you too much information. So my wanted level ended in tears. I did not escape it. That'll happen. That'll happen at times. So here's something interesting that I'm just noticing randomly. This is like, as I was saying before, that series of Chiliad Lab murals contains all those symbols on it, one of which looks like the internet symbol here, this little globe. It could also be an oil company logo, not necessarily the internet, but Globe Oil. There's also an existing logo in the game. And there is like a lot of weird stuff surrounding the power companies in the game, the oil companies, and wind farm and the dam and all of that have always been a little strange. So it's interesting that that could also be that symbol. But I won't get started on that. We are way up at the top of the map now, up in Palito Bay almost. After that merry little chase. That's weird. I don't know why he's after me, except that maybe this is a vehicle Simeon wants. Sometimes random cars you steal are like already reported as stolen for some reason. And you can just get random police wanted levels on you. So it looks like we're going again already, as luck would have it. However, it's such a low wanted level, they've almost already lost me. To catch up to them. Sorry. I'm sorry. I just need a higher wanted level. Hoping there'd be a way through there. Let's go around. Whee! Yes, it is a Simeon vehicle. The top left message is telling me. Let's circle back around here. I'd like to try to make it to the train tracks behind the chicken factory here. Hello, train tracks. Hello, train tracks. It's very well timed to hide me from the police there. Except for the helicopter, of course. Okay, let's get away from that mess and follow the train. See if we can't conjure up a little mystical musical madness as we escape. I would love to be able to switch to a motorcycle and kind of follow the train for a bit. I'm not sure if they're going to let me. Too far from a suitable road for my own. Let's try to catch up with it. I'm going to pull my own bike into play and chase a train in order to escape. Come on. All right. Let's see if we can get a second of peace here. So sorry. I forgot I actually needed to make a decision in the contacts list. Switching between not getting hit by the train.
Hey there. What can I help you with?
This is why they tell you not to use your phone.
No problem.
While you're on your motorcycle, trying to do wheelies onto a train. Let's see if this works here. Boop. Alright. Now we're on the train. We're headed to Los Santos. We're going deep downtown, it seems. I'm sure we'll pass the dam. So sorry for the delay. It's hard to catch a train at times, but entirely too much fun. I wonder if I have enough lead-up room to do a launch from the train. Let's see here. Oh yeah, plenty of room. However, I'm probably going much, much faster than the train is now. There's this spot up here that I love because it has all these little ridges. But even if your bike does not have wings, it's a little bit easier to get on a train in this side of the world, which is kind of nice. There's actually a conductor you can see up there. But the trains are automatic regardless. If the conductor dies, the train continues on the exact same schedule, as if he doesn't really exist. It's just like the autopilot from Airplane. This is not the time, LJT. Hilariously, if you don't already know, you have a character called LJT, which stands for Long John Teabag, apparently. It's the hacker name of a guy who runs a company called the Open Road, which is like where it's kind of like the Silk Road equivalent. You sell your illicit substances on the open road. And so he always calls you and he has this voice modulator on. And he's like, "Hi, it's LJT." And it's quite obviously Lester the entire time. He never actually reveals himself as being Lester, but it's just the same guy you've always worked with. He's just for some reason using his hacker name and a voice modulator, which I find hilarious. So I'm sorry for the ramshackle nature of this session. I don't really have a clear goal in mind. I'm just sort of enjoying my time with you here. Aha, that is new information to you? I'm glad to be there. I was very tickled when I found that out myself. It's kind of obvious when you listen to LJT in retrospect. He has a lot of the same mannerisms as Lester, but I just think it's hilarious that he's trying to puppeteer you from multiple different angles. There's the prison there. There is one interesting thing in the prison as it relates to that, pardon me. as it relates to the Infinite Eight, the serial killer mystery. I think Merle Abraham was at one time incarcerated in Bolingbroke, which I believe is what this prison is called. Bolingbroke Penitentiary. Yes, there we go. And he left a message on one of the walls in the yard, or whatever you call it, near the exercise equipment. There's a message and some symbols from Merle Abraham. But if you go in the prison, you get an immediate 4-star wanted level. That would have been a good thing to use earlier when I was trying to get a high wanted level. If you go in there at all, you're a wanted man. So I'd be kind of interested in showing you the message, but I wonder if we should switch to a more easily escapable oppressor, or if we should take our chances with what will likely be a cool ragdoll sequence ending in my death. Let's do that. Let's do a cool ragdoll sequence ending in my death. So I think it's like in here somewhere. If I could not hit a fence. Oh. Wasn't expecting there to be so many right in here. Okay, that's fair. For some reason I thought they were scattered around the edges, but not in the yard, but that's probably silly. And my personal vehicle has been impounded by the cops. Well, sure. That makes sense. So that was quick. Let's try something else. I will first get my assistant to de-impound
You're through, boss.
my vehicle here.
That shouldn't be a problem. I'll have your personal vehicle collected as soon as possible.
Typically, you have to go to the nearest police lockup where your vehicle will be stored and retrieve it or pay for it to be released yourself. You have to pay the fine or steal it again. But if you're a CEO, if you own a high-rise office, you can just call your assistant and have them deal with the police and get it back to you. So, do we want to try that again with perhaps a car that would protect me from bullets, is the question. It's a little bit hard to withstand shotgun shells on a motorcycle. So I don't know if these will open. They may open, so I could get like my Kuruma perhaps, and then we could check it out. Just get rid of this out of sight of the police. We'll grab something else. You. Stop, in the name of the law. My apologies, I just need to borrow this. I guess we can go this way. So now I just need to get near a road. Some scientists checking out the satellite dishes. Never know if the placement of various NPCs throughout the world is also some sort of hint towards something. Is there a reason there are scientists there? Okay, so I have one car here that may be helpful if we can get it into the lower level. There's a car you can get called a Kuruma, if I can remember which garage I have it in.
I can't get your ride over there right now.
Okay, fine. There's some roads they don't like sometimes near prisons and stuff. They're like, I don't want to go near that. Let's try this again.
You're through to your garage. You, need me to bring you a ride?
Okay, where would my Kuruma be? Arcade.
It's coming
There we
at
go.
you. I'll get back to it then.
Deluxo might be a good pick too, yeah. That's not quite as armored, but would get me in and out quite easily. Oh, let's stay in the car. It's quite a walk across a Frogger-like highway. Here we are. Following my classic theme of some sort of weird ghostly black pearlescent and then white tires. That's my theme. Like a Tim Burton film in car form. I don't know why I didn't see that massive boulder. I was like, yeah, it's just part of the ridge there. Okay, so this is actually fully armored. Even the glass, what little of it is exposed, is fully armored, and you really cannot be hurt inside this car. Get yourself a Kuruma. It's a great time. So let's see if this protects me and allows access to the back yard area. I may have to do a little smash and grab. If I can get up enough momentum. So somewhere back here, there's a bit of exercise equipment, and there's a wall with some writing on it. I do believe it's in there if I can find a way past the posts. This is very exciting. We made it. So it's one of these numbered walls. Here we go. So it's got that 8. The infinity stood up. And it says, where water meets land and fire once spewed forth, there the infinite 8 shall stay until I return. And it has all those 8s, and then you can just barely see it. It has this other diagram there, dead ahead. Pardon my shotgun blasts. So it has this little diagram. You can see a north with a little arrow pointing north, and then what appears to be a little strip of land there. So it's, again, kind of in a hard location to see. You're under constant attack. You should not be in here. It's difficult to actually survive long enough to see those words. And what's particularly strange about that to me is the whole where fire once spewed forth part of it, because I'm sure there is some reference somewhere to like an inactive volcano that used to be up at the top of Los Santos Island, or whatever they're calling it. So I'm just trying to get back out of the prison first here, and then we can call Lester. Call Long John Teabag for some law relief. That sounds weird. That makes it sound like a different service entirely. Well, they very quickly repaired those fences. Admirable job. The Kuruma also has a bit of a shunting ability. It can push other cars more effectively than most. So let's just call Lester and get a little peace and quiet here. Not Laszlo. Laszlo will not help us get any peace and quiet. Laszlo is the rockstar equivalent of Ryan Seacrest. Is the host of a fictional show called Fame or Shame. Yeah, I don't remember if Chiliad was the dormant volcano in question. I really need to remember. But, so I'm sorry it's not easier to get a longer look at that diagram, but you may recognize it here, now that we're out in the peace and quiet. That diagram where there's just a little jut of land connected and then there's a few islands is the very, very top of the map right there. We may be close enough here now to actually go see his house as well. I think it's just in here somewhere. Like, towards the back edge. Let's see here. I think this is where his house is, but it's been a long time since I've looked at any of this killer stuff. This'll be fun. I have about another 6 minutes with you. See if we can just make it to his house at least. So I don't know if it's a reference to Chiliad, or if it's something that is now underwater, or if I'm mistaking it for something else entirely. I thought there was some volcano reference. But if there is, like, even I have very little memory of it. Like, it's very well hidden. Or it was just a long time ago. So this is Sandy Shores. A town in the shadow of Chiliad, effectively. Out here by the, I can never remember what it's called. Alamo Sea, I believe. Huh. These little gang attacks should have like a check mark on them that I've completed them, and this one does not. Let me do it real quick since we're in an armored car. Very little to lose. Regrettably cannot lock on to people when you're aiming from a vehicle. So I'm doing this the old-fashioned way with my thumbsticks. My apologies. Come on now. Calm down, gentlemen. This isn't the time. My apologies. This is much more drawn out than it has to be. Get this guy out of his misery. Jeez. So the idea of doing this is that there are just very few of these gang attacks left around the map that I have not done before, and for some reason, this appeared to be one of them. One guy left. Pardon me. So just in case that was a missed thing, I will take the chance. Yes, thank you. Get out of here. Okay. Back to the task at hand. So sorry. Maybe this one, I'm not sure. This looks a little clean. Yeah, I think his is a little more like actually a burnt out building. He seems to have been turned on at some point, guilty or not. Merle Abraham was effectively run out of town. This is his house. So it says there will be 8. And then he has little tick marks in here. So 5 represented there. There's another 5 up there. There's 8s all over the place. You can see this diagram again. Here's a better look at it without police interference. So it's like he's drawn that diagram all over the place in various locations. And as you can see, it's very, very similar to this. 4 islands, effectively. And here's that 8 is just infinity stood up. He has all these weird things in jars. Oh boy, I don't even want to imagine. There's like some newspapers and... It's all very, very strange. And so on the outside of his house, this appears to be stuff that he has written, like mad ramblings. On the outside of his house, there are some other things written that appear to be from the townsfolk. Go away, Merle Abrahams. You're a wrong'un. And weirdly, it seems to be written in a very similar style to everything else, so it's like you assume that he has written this, that whoever it was has gone sort of crazy. But then it could have been the legend of him that took off, and the graffiti is all from an external source, and none of it is him at all. So it's all very vague and ambiguous, and you never really get to meet Merle Abrahams or anything like that, as far as I know. But I don't think we have enough time, regrettably, to go see it. However, you are welcome to look up here yourself. Perhaps with a scuba suit, or perhaps with a submarine, you may find something in this area. And if I have time during the next session, perhaps that is where we can head. If you're curious. There is a little something to see there. Once again, it's not necessarily complete, not necessarily satisfying in the ending, but it is very, very interesting. Alright, I have to run for now. My apologies. And sorry, again, this was such a weird session. We didn't really accomplish anything, but I had a very, very good time with you all. Thank you for spending some time with me and my acrobatic bike. And I will see you the very next time I'm able. Thank you again, and bye for now. Let me get out and salute at you. There we are. Goodbye.